All right, and ready to get back to it. Let me just have a slice of, excuse me, a slice of apple real quick. The sky tipple could fall off a cliff into a vast ocean. Ah! What is this? Killer trees! I don't know why my fire doesn't work anymore. That was obnoxious. I died. I died because I accidentally started climbing on something. I think I would have been fine. And alright, I don't think I suffered a very significant loss. I don't know why the fire worked on the tree the very first time, and then they were immune to it after that. I don't know what happened. Octorok Eyeball. This can only be obtained from Octorok type enemies. Its nature is to focus on a moving object, attach one to an arrow to grant a homing quality to that arrow. High Roll Bass. An ordinary fish that hasn't changed for ages. It can be eaten raw, but cooking it amplifies its healing benefits. And did we read about? I don't think so. This inflatable Octorok organ has a lot of lift, so attach it to items you want to see float. An arrow can serve as a good way to stick one to a distant object. Ah. Oh. That fills my head with ideas. Squirrel. Oh my goodness, I didn't see all these other guys. Where are you going? Coward. Dude, I was trying to take his weapon. That was from all the way over there, huh? Come on, I'm running low on arrows. Giant club. Alright, well, the Octorok tentacle is what we read about before. My last arrow. Oh, thank goodness, an arrow. That guy just kind of gave up. The chest full of arrows, all that. Well, we've got ourselves a horse. I don't know how to make this horse calm down and like me. There we go. Wow, that was a lot of work. Looks like we found another shrine. I hope our horse is okay while we're gone. A fixed device. Shrine time. So we're not wrapping up anytime soon. I plan to go for several more hours yet. But I just figured I'd mention again. So the plan for this game is to play it today of course, but also Tuesday and Thursday this week. And we'll be doing other retro stuff, actual retro stuff, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll do Rocket Knight Adventures, Smash TV, Alundra, and Commodore 64 games. Sort of random variety there. So a lot of goodies in store this week. Oops. There's a hole there. I don't know if anyone else caught that. Oh. I mean, on the one hand, I think I know what it wants me to do. On the other hand, I hit the wrong button. Jam says this pre-ordered the newly revealed Crash Bandicoot remote control car off EB Games, Australia's website. Right on. Vroom vroom, says cows. Oh. I thought it was just supposed to touch the pad. That's a hole. It's supposed to go in. Imagine the Crash Bandicoot commercials they did recently for Nitro Kart. I didn't catch any of those. I mean, I get that it wanted me to play like baseball or something with this, but I may have misunderstood. I like that I can take these pieces too. No, no. I made a lollipop. I'm gonna die in here and there's not even any enemies. I'm exhausted from playing Zelda. Game Input says, I don't know about you, Frownie, but this game makes my brain work harder than normal. I mean, my brain hardly ever works at all, so... I'm alright. Well, that's not good. I'm pretty good at hitting it straight forward. No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I don't know why I find this puzzle to be so incredibly difficult. I'm sure it's not that hard. I think my earlier solution had a lot of merit. Ow. Go off T approach, yeah. Come on! puzzles are hard. Why? Why is it lifting out? I don't understand. These remind me of candy cigarettes. Why is this so hard? This should never have been so much work. There we go. Perfect. Hey, thank you for the trophies, cows. Oh boy, what an embarrassing mess this shrine was. First try. That's a nice prize. I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you, cows. Thank you, Game and Fit. Thank you, Lala. I've talked a lot of times about how I think a good puzzle is one that makes you feel smart. I'm not going to say that was a bad puzzle, but I am going to say that did not make me feel smart. Actually, I did feel smart while I was just ignoring the puzzle and trying to just stick the ball to the thing. But, you know, Miyamoto is always one step ahead of me. Please, Link, get off the thing. I don't know how to let go of a wall. Victory. Hey, Hrafnir, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing, my friend? I know you've been playing this game a lot, too. I've seen you, I think you were going for a 12-hour stream the other day. I haven't been able to drop in because, of course, I want to avoid all the spoilers, but, in very general terms, let us know how you've been doing. How are you liking the game? Played for nearly 30 hours. It feels like I barely started. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite there. I'm about half that. But, same. I feel like I've barely done anything. I've wasted a lot of time, and I got up to a bunch of shenanigans. That's for sure. But so far as meaningful progress, not really much. But that's alright. That's alright. I am more than happy to take forever slowly unfolding this game. I've really loved it so far. You know, I've made no secret about how much I loved the original Breath of the Wild. I thought that game was a magical experience, and I've been very happy with this one too. I built a rocket plane and flew off into the ocean with Freebird playing in the background. We've learned how to bridges and how to not build bridges. Yeah, that's basically all I've done. Basically all I've done is stick a whole bunch of tree trunks end to end to make an 11-story bridge to nowhere. The whole first 2 hours of my stream were me endlessly gluing tree trunks end to end. Until I hit the attach limit. And I'll tell you, 11 tree trunks end to end is very hard to manipulate through the scenery. I will spoil that little bit of the game for you. By letting you know that. It's been a good time. I've been having a lot of fun. Angela says, I've decided to play a Zelda game myself on Tuesday. The very first Zelda game. I beat it as a kid, but I forgot everything, so I predict hours of struggling. Right on, Angelus. I have no doubt you'll have a good time. I have no doubt you'll also struggle, because that game can be quite difficult. But it'll all be worth it, I'm sure. Ganon giving you problems? Bridge. I like the way you're thinking, Game and Fit. Zelda's my favorite, Raptor says. Is Zelda 1 your favorite Zelda game? Oh. No, he was almost a goner. No. Besides Breath and Tears, Twilight Princess is my favorite, Hafnir says. That's the second time tonight I've heard such high praise for Twilight Princess. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate it, but I am a little surprised. I keep getting myself into trouble. You'll notice anytime I'm in combat, almost anytime I go into combat, I attempt to lock onto the enemy by pressing R3, because that's what Dark Souls has taught me to do. It's been months since I played Dark Souls, but my instinct is always R3 to lock on. And it does this, and I am in terrible trouble. That's why I died just then. I blame it on the R3. Yeah, I keep locking on like that. It's horrible. Dark Souls has ruined me. As much as I want to stick around for more, I've got to be heading off to bed, Cal says. I'll have to catch the rest of your bridge building adventures on the VOD. I appreciate you being here, Cows. I'm sorry I can't have you around for the whole time, but I can't be selfish. I hope that you sleep well. We're gonna do more tiers on Tuesday and Thursday, and tomorrow night is Rocket Knight Adventures and Alundra. sleep well, cows. Have a wonderful tomorrow, and look forward to having you here again. Dark Souls is killing you, and you don't even have the game on. 100%. 100% it is. That's how difficult Dark Souls is. It kills you even when you're playing another game. So we're kind of aimlessly playing. I'm very slowly working my way toward the waypoint marker on my map down there. But I've been working my way toward that thing for about 3 hours now. I keep getting distracted and or outclassed in combat. Ow. That's quite the weapon. I've never used that before. I'm in pretty desperate need of arrows. Hightail lizard. A lizard found throughout Hyrule. It's a bit slow to react at times, but if given a chance to escape, it will dart off quickly. Cook it with monster parts for a speed-boosting elixir. Chickaloo tree nut. Small birds love this nut. You can eat it raw for a minor effect, but it can also be added as a spice to other recipes. Monster extract. A result of Kilton's research into monsters, this suspicious spice can be used to punch up dishes while cooking. Apparently, it can be used to make a number of monstrous meals. Cool. So I'm also dying a lot because I refuse to pause and heal myself in the middle of battle. I've only been eating when the coast is clear. I've died 153 times, Rafnir says. Well, I don't think I'm quite there, but I mean, I've died a whole lot. A whole lot. No, not another tree. Oh, I blew up the honey. Bokoblin horn. A sharp horn with multiple barbs. Attach it to a weapon to increase its attack power, or cook it with a critter to make an elixir. That guy was Bokobo. I think we read about that before, so I'm gonna... Ah! Everything is scary. Been searching for shrines to get more hearts and stamina. Not very successfully, I might add. So I don't know about you, but I avoided all the publicity, all the marketing, all the trailers and everything. And so, like, I didn't know about the crafting when I went into the game, so that was a very pleasant surprise. I actually really enjoy being able to pick up and hot glue all the things together. It was a pretty mind-blowing addition to the game. I've avoided most stuff too. It's been great. Right on. Very glad to have you there with me. A spinning device. Oh no. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Arrows. No. Oh, hey, Young Street, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Great to have you with us. Welcome to your friends. Let me just get out of danger here. You're right, I'm sorry. I was into the game. I didn't see you there. But I very much appreciate the raid. Thank you. Tell us about your stream. What were you doing? How did it go? Miyamoto's here, show manners. And is that Frilmo? Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Let's give Young Street a shout out. Playing Zelda much like you? Oh, excellent. You're probably further along in the game than I am. I've been playing it for about 12 hours, 13 hours, something like that. I've been going pretty slow. Spent a lot of my time doing nonsense. It's been a lot of fun. My chat's teasing about what a baby game this is. Hey, that's alright. I don't mind playing a baby game every now and then. I'm still naked with no armor. Someone, one of my regulars has told me that they're in much the same situation. Oh, that won't do what I was hoping it would do. No. Now see, I know the game wants me to build a car, but I don't want to build a car. And I'm not going to. Shorty Straw loves to call everything a baby game. Hello, is that Zebu? Welcome in. Just like in real life. So I see, you've been running one of those kind of streams. I'm very tired, Frownie. I just wanted to pop in and say hello. By all means, thank you again for the raid. I very much appreciate you coming by and trusting us with your people. We'll do our best to take good care of them. Get some well-deserved rest. And, I will see you again. See if there's an obvious and easy way to do something, but you can think of a much more difficult way to do it. That takes a lot more time. That's the thing. That's what to do. I could have built a car. The game told me to build a car, but what did I do? I built a bridge out of wheels. Oh no, it wasn't good enough. I'm gonna have to build a car. No, my bridge of wheels broke. there any way yet that I can get away with not doing what the game wants me to do? You see, the big problem is... I broke one of the cars, so I'm actually missing some of the resources that I could have. I should have 1 more plank and 3 more wheels. But because I broke a wheel off of one of the cars, it refused to respawn it. What happens if I just throw everything away? Ooh. Hey, alright. This is exactly what I wanted. I got left out from the raid. Welcome in, Shorty Straw. I was, It's funny how Zelda went from an action-adventure dungeon crawler to physics puzzle sandbox game. I don't have a creative bone in my body, so this is going to be the most difficult Zelda game for me. I mean, I don't really think that I'm particularly creative, and I manage to get by sometimes. So I have confidence you'll be able to do all right. No, it broke. No, why is it moving? Not very creative either, but once I start playing, my imagination went through the roof. I'm the guy who plays Minecraft and only makes square dirt homes. I can feel you there. I make the same treehouse every time I play Minecraft. My MO is always exactly the same. I am not gonna let this defeat me. I don't know why I'm committed to a project that has no point with no payoff. It's so much. It's so much more work. The payoff is the satisfaction of finding your own path and the wheels we meet along the way. I love it. That's actually great. I wanted it to fall on its side like that, so, haha. No. Victory, you can't stop me. We did it. Now I'm gonna find out I needed a car to get the treasure chest. Oh no, I already got the treasure chest. So... just turn that. Trying to make a bridge, that's a solution I would come to as well. More creative types would probably build a vehicle with the wheels or reverse the direction the stage is spinning. I'm only guessing, by the way. I have no idea if you could do that. So I did try to reverse the way that the thing was spinning. And yeah, the game, well, I mean, the game wanted me to build a vehicle. I thought I was being more creative by refusing to do what the game wanted me to do. For no reason. Refusing to do what the game wanted me to do. I'm just being stubborn for no reason in a lot of instances. No. No! Uh, took me years to finally give Breath of the Wild a solid beating. I only played 30 minutes of this game to make sure my cartridge worked. I don't plan to play this until later on. Breath of the Wild I played right away at launch. I got a Switch and Breath of the Wild right away. And weirdly enough, I went into Breath of the Wild. I had somehow, by like sheer accident, missed all of the like trailers and advertising for it and stuff. So I went into it knowing like virtually nothing about the game. I mean, I knew it was a Zelda game, and I'd heard it was supposed to be open world, and that was pretty much it. Like, so far as my knowledge of the game. Like, I didn't even know climbing was part of the game before I played it. And so I had a really magical time, like, discovering and exploring that game all on my own. And so I really fell in love with Breath of the Wild. And so this game has made me very happy because it's like, you know, more Breath of the Wild. There we go. I didn't even build a thing. Victory. I'm not doing anything the way you're supposed to. I'm pretty good at either avoiding story spoilers or just forgetting what I've seen in a couple of years. Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between playing a game and watching a game. Exactly. Why build when the game has already provided a bridge? Gonna make some food. Have a good night. Thank you again for the raid, Hrafnir. I hope you continue to have a lot of fun with this game. I hope that I get to see you again. But yeah, enjoy your food. Enjoy your night. I don't know if I ever properly said welcome in to you, men, but I'm very happy to have you here with us, if I didn't say so. I hope that your week is getting off to a good start. Thank you for the wheel, Persephone. We can do that. Give the wheel of Scorchin a spin. And then I selected the sunflower seeds. I've been landing on this a lot lately. This batch of sunflower seeds I had been very terrified of. So it's called Solar Flare sunflower seeds, and it comes with a pack with 5 packs of different heat levels. And we're up to heat level 3, and this one I believe is made with ghost pepper powder. I think it's ghost pepper, garlic, and onion. And I had been terrified of this, but I actually kind of feel like the level 3 is not as bad as the level 2. So I mean, it's spicy, but it's not nearly as devastating as what I had thought it was going to be before trying them. So it's like about a teaspoon of the sunflower seeds. Oh, wow. I think there was a little more powder on that portion. Oh, ah. They're pretty spicy. Ah. I think I'm already through the worst of it, though. That was so I've had two portions of these seeds at this heat level. I've had two portions of them already. This one was worse by far. There must have been more of the powder in this sample because wow. Oh my. It burns in the back of my throat a little bit, like it's almost like acid reflux. It's not quite as unpleasant as that, but it's pretty unpleasant. I would say that was a good spin, Persephone. I would say that you won that spin. I think I lost that one. What is that? What is that? I don't know that. I don't know that medical term. Pharynx, the membrane-lined cavity behind the nose and mouth, connecting them to the esophagus. Oh. Sleepy Time Game and Fit says, have fun, everyone. Hey, thank you for being here with us, Game and Fit. I hope you overcome your Zelda fatigue and get back to having some more fun. Sleep well, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. Connects navel cavity to the throat. Yeah, I definitely don't want it. I definitely don't want the spice creeping through there. Sometimes I get food stuck in mine. I can't eat anything spicy. You know, we all have different tolerances. I didn't mean to do that. I know there's a third one of these guys creeping around somewhere. I don't want to get surprised by him while I'm fighting these two. Okay, looks like another shrine, kind of dead ahead. Bunch of horses over here. I wonder if I can catch one. And we'll just head right along to the next shrine. Add some CRT lines to the screen. Blast from the past, welcome in. Pleasure to have you here. Yeah, I don't tend to change my category all that often. I change it sometimes, but the category and the tags, for the most part, you know, we're generally a retro stream, so the retro category is kind of my home. But a pleasure to have you here, Blast from the Past. I hope you're having a good night. I feel awful, this character says. Oh. Hey, traveler. I'd stay away from that stuff if you care about your health. Folks are calling it gloom. If you get any on you, you'll start losing your strength, like it's sapping your life away. I touched some gloom while poking around in the depths, and now look at me. The worst of it will recover on its own, little by little, so long as you're on the surface. But while you're in the depths, you won't recover at all. I thought I was going to die down there. Some investigation leader I turned out to be. This is just pitiful. I'm completely reliant on Duval, as I really want to recover by nighttime. Traveler, please be extra cautious around the gloom. I've been recovering slowly, very slowly, since coming back to the surface. But while I was in the depths, I couldn't recover at all. Who knows what would have become of me? I'm taking care of myself and resting, but I can't imagine an encounter with the gloom a second time. No, sir. Oh. Is this, Whoa. Candies like hot tamales burn my mouth too much. So I just live vicariously through your wheel and you. Oh, thank you, Persephone. I'm happy to be able to do that for you. Hey, buddy, what's the big idea? You can't just walk up behind someone who's standing on the edge of a chasm. For one thing, a nasty accident like that would surely halt the research here. Chasm investigation is super important right now for the Zonai survey team. If even one researcher had to stop, Josha, who's hard at work on plans over at Lookout Landing, would cry. Not okay. Chasm investigation? You know, the giant holes that showed up after the upheaval. There are lots of them, just like this one, all over the world. You can't see the bottom. They're so deep, so filled with mystery. We must continue our research for the sake of our dear Josha. Oh. See that tower over there? Oh, I do. That's where you'll find our base of operations and, incidentally, Josha. Oh, also, don't startle me again. I'm deep in my investigation work at the moment. Hey, I told you, don't sneak up behind someone when they're standing at the edge of a chasm.
Oh.
Goodbye. Wanted to borrow this guy's hot air balloon. I don't think I'm going to be allowed to do that. Alright, shrine time. Shape rotation. Oh, I'm worried. I think this might be a motion controls kind of a shrine. Oh, maybe not. I don't know if there's any way of getting around what they want me to do for this one. Alright, what'd we get? Hasty elixir. Oh, will this give us enough height to make it up to the ledge? Probably not, right? I might not even be able to stand on it. I'm pretty good at jumping over it. It's never gonna happen. I think it's stuck. No. No, don't attach. Why? Oh, I don't understand why it doesn't fit. Oh my goodness. This is more difficult than I could have ever imagined. Finally. Boy, that was sloppy. Hey, Chompy, welcome in. How you liking this so far, Frownie? I am loving this game, Chompy. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the original Breath of the Wild. And this is, this has given me a lot more of that. And that's just what I wanted from it. So I am happy as can be. It's been a very fun time. Excuse me. I hope you're doing well tonight, Chompy. That your week's getting off to a good start. It is. I'm actually playing this at the moment, loving it so far. Oh, that is great to hear. Rugged Rhino Beetle. This beetle's hard body resembles armor. When the shell is cooked with monster parts, the resulting elixir boosts your defense. Right on. Well, let's fight this guy real quick. Uh-oh, I don't have a weapon. Soldier's Broadsword, a light, thin metal sword used by the guards of Hyrule Castle. Its lightweight makes it easy to handle, enables quicker charged attacks. Groovy. I've been really enjoying the crafting in this game. I spent the first 2 hours of the stream taking a bunch of these tree trunks and just sticking them end to end to end, making a really long pillar of tree trunks and trying to use it to climb up on top of the Temple of Time. Because I forgot that this ascend power exists. So I went about trying to get to the top of the Temple of Time in the worst way possible for 2 hours. And a lot of my playthrough has been like that, where I just spend a lot of time trying to do stuff in very dumb ways. No. Alright, let's do some cooking. What have I got? I got a lot of steak. It's impressive how many ways there are to do things in this. There's been puzzles where I'm like, surely this wasn't the solution they had in mind. Oh yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of them. Like, we just did a shrine where it was a very simple shrine where they very obviously wanted you to build a particular contraption, and I refused to build the thing they wanted me to build, and instead try to find I like refusing to do what it wants me to do and trying to find other ways across, the obstacles that they present. You know, they're like, they very obviously want me to build this particular device. So if I can do it without building that, then I'm gonna pat myself on the back. Even if my solution, is way worse and takes 800 times as long. If I could stubbornly refuse to do what they want me to do and solve it another way, I'm going to. Pretty much every time. Alright, that'll do. That gets us a little bit of food. Except I actually have to eat some of that food right away. Yes, please. More arrows. Ooh, what are those big guys over there? Well, that one big guy with a bunch of little guys. I would love to fight that big guy, but I do not think I'm cut out for that. No, he's coming right for me. Link, it's you. You're back. Where have you been?
Aw.
Last that anyone saw of either you or Princess Zelda was when you went to investigate the gloom. And then the castle rose into the sky, and everyone's been so worried about what happened to you both. Purah has nearly worn herself out trying to figure out where you two went. Purah is working in that large building over there. Please report to her right away. She'll want to know you're alright. Lookout landing. It's kind of a cool place. Eggs. Don't mind if I do. I know you.
Oh.
You're that Link fellow, aren't you? What are you doing over here? Go find Purah right away. Sorry, but I've got my hands full right now. If it's building materials you're after, I suggest you start by cutting a tree down. After that, hey, hold on. I thought you might be you, Link. Wow, what a relief. You're safe. I was seriously worried about you. Where have you been, anyway? Sorry. Just relieved you're back. So, you know Purah's here, right? Gotta see her right away if you haven't. But wow, I can't even tell you how happy I am to see you here at Lookout Landing. It's nice that everybody has missed me. Oh, can we buy some clothes? I mean, I can't. I don't have any money. God, it's so great.
Oh.
This Hylian armor series has caught your eye too. The design is so cool, and it fits like a glove. It's popular with travelers too, which means it's a must for adventuring.
Hey!
Hey, welcome. It's your first time at my store, right? It's the only place to shop here in Lookout Landing. I know it looks a little thrown together, but I stock a nice selection of goods. I ran a store back in my hometown, so I hope you'll support my place here. Your hometown? I come from a small fishing town called Lurelin Village. It's way to the south, on the southeastern corner of Hyrule. Used to be a peaceful place, too. Then the pirates arrived. I used to run the village's general store, but when those pirates arrived, I had to grab all the goods I could carry and run. I don't know how it's going there now. I hope I can return someday, but for now, I'll just keep selling as much stuff as I can. Please let me know if there's anything you'd like. Anything else you need? Buy my stuff. Alright, let's see. What do we have that we can part with? Do we have anything that's worth anything? Sell off some of these precious stones. Oh, never mind. That's fine. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. How much does this stuff cost? $70. $130. $120 and arrows. Alright, we got some money now. Should have been reading the descriptions of these. Traditional dress trousers of Hyrule. The plush fabric means makes these trousers quite comfortable, and their high durability makes them ideal for travelers. Alright, and I got some money left for arrows. Bundle of 5 common arrows. The shafts of these arrows were carved from the wood of a sturdy tree. Buy as many as I can. Victory. Alright. I think I'll just keep these warm pants on for now. Maybe not. These have a little bit higher defense. Oh, it's you. Your rival is sure to cause a bit of a stir. Oh, but you probably needed something, didn't you? Well, if this is your first visit, go talk to that soldier in the center of our little port. I'm right in the middle of giving out orders. This group's going to join the search for Princess Zelda. So whatever you need, it's got to wait until... What? Is that really you? Link, you've returned. I've got to say that it's a relief to see that you're safe. I'm Graylands, head of the Monster Control Crew. We can talk more later. You need to report in to Pura immediately. She has to know you're back. Your interest in our work honors us all, but please go tell Pura you're safe. Ah, so you're the big deal swordsman that everyone's talking about. Glad to get to meet you. I'd be up for talking about hero stuff anytime that I'm not on a mission. Link, my apologies. Your interest in our work honors us, but I'm busy giving orders to the group right now. Please let Pura know you're safe. She's in the building with the telescope. Shh, the captain's still talking. Okay, he's gonna hit us with the same dialogue. So you're this Link I've heard about. You really do look tough. I will not go where you want me to go until I have accomplished everything I want to accomplish. Why am I crouching? I don't understand why I can't climb up any higher. There we go. I was stuck in a crouch. It didn't make any sense. Alright, victory. I mean, I made it to the top, but there appears to be a whole lot of nothing up here. Great view, though. Boy, what a big world this is. Uh-oh. There was water. I could have just dived off the side. There was water down there. Well, I know I lost the shopping that I did, but I'll go and repeat that later. Let's see if there's anyone else to talk to before we talk to the guy in the middle. Ah, what a fine afternoon. Hey, you. Where have you been? Don't answer that. Tell me later. For now, you should hurry and go talk to Purah. She's been in a tizzy ever since you and the princess disappeared. She's in the building with the telescope up on the second floor. Go see her. Give her some peace of mind, will ya? Ooh, Zonite. More arrows? Pose. Am I allowed to just take this stuff? Wait a minute. What do you think you're doing? Josha needs that for her chasm research. Don't touch any of it without her permission. I'll get in big trouble if you do. Oh, I see. So those balloon things that fell from the sky are called Zonai devices. There's still so much we don't know about them. But trust my boss Purah to take a thing we know so little about and turn it into something useful. She's the sharpest person in Hyrule, a creative genius. I think we found all the people?
No.
Link, where have you been this whole time? We hoped you'd come back soon, but then you didn't, and now you have. Where's Princess Zelda? You didn't bring her with you? Whatever happened, please go talk to Purah first and foremost. She's up in her research lab. That's on the north side of our fort, up on the second floor. Hurry. The dialogue is a bit underwhelming when everyone's just telling you to do the same thing.
What?
That hair, those eyes. Doc.
Oh.
Dr. Purah. The swordsman. The swordsman has returned.
Okay. Now where have you been? Linky, you're not a ghost, are you? Hey. That looks interesting. Phew. One step at a time. What exactly happened?
Looks like she's holding a recorder.
So when you and Princess Zelda go beneath Hyrule Castle, you discover a mysterious mummy which suddenly reanimates. Then, Zelda falls into a fissure and vanishes. That must have been when the castle rose and the ruins fell. Then, later, you wake up on a sky island, saved by the arm that was stuck to the mummy. You get the Purapad from an unusual creature, and learn that your new arm belonged to someone named Rauru. The Master Sword disappears. You hear the princess's voice and find your way here.
That's a pretty good summary.
Huh?
Then,
What?
are you saying you came from up there? This Rauru you met, I think that's what the first king of Hyrule was named. Are they one and the same? So much of this doesn't make sense yet. But I'm certain that mummy you found under the castle must be related to the upheaval. The castle rising up, the ruins falling down from the sky. The mummy must be connected to it somehow.
Ah.
And then there's the most important detail of all. You're sure that you heard the princess speak to you, and she gave you a clear message to find her. If that truly was the princess, then that means she's alive. Maybe she's trapped beneath the castle and needs help. That settles it. I know you only just returned, Link, but I need you to meet with the search party up by Hyrule Castle. They've been searching tirelessly for you two. The captain in charge of the search is named Haz. Work with him to find the princess as quickly as you can. I know that mummy may still be lurking somewhere around there, which is concerning to say the least, but we have more important problems to deal with right now. I'm counting on you, Linky. Oh, cool. Hurrah. The highest authority on ancient technology, she has served Princess Zelda's family for much of her life and has worked with the princess to research the Zonai civilization. Most recently, they started an investigation into the outbreak of gloom. She has used herself as a test subject in her experiments. Despite being over a century in age, she reversed her aging to the extreme and actually looked like a child not too long ago. Poor Princess Zelda, all alone beneath the castle with that creepy mummy. I don't even know what I'd do if it were me down there. Just thinking about it gives me the willies. Swordsman, you gotta rescue Princess Zelda. If the princess really did tell you to find her, then you better do so, and quickly. Captain Haz has been leading a search below Hyrule Castle. Talk to him and see how you can help out. You must reach the princess quickly if she's there. I'm counting on you, Link.
What?
Read notes on the upheaval. Sure. Excuse me. On that day, the land shook, and huge chasms that seemed bottomless opened in the ground. The clouds billowed and rolled as floating islands appeared in the skies, raining chunks of ruins down on us. And strange as of all, Hyrule Castle began to float in the air. It's hard to believe this is our world now. Whoever started calling it the upheaval had the right idea. An evil-looking haze surged up from the chasms that opened on the surface. The haze weakens everything it touches. People fall ill when exposed to it, and it has another curious property as well. As if guided, the miasma coiled about our weapons. There isn't a single weapon we know of that hasn't decayed as a result. We're calling the stuff gloom. We decided to call the islands hanging in the sky Islands, simple and to the point as best it seemed. I suspect, based on the design motifs on them, that the ruins falling from the sky are Zonai in origin. We still understand so little about the Zonai civilization. All we know is that it flourished in the sky. While it's true that the upheaval has posed major problems in every aspect of life in Hyrule, I can't deny that it's also presented us with an opportunity to answer questions we've long had about our history. We've started It's very odd that like this is a journal and that she has written like like that's something you say when you're speaking, but do you write that? I don't know. We've started investigating the fallen ruins and the Sky Islands. Our best lead is a report from the chief of Kakariko Village that some unusual ruins and engraved slabs have fallen there. I decided to have the Zonai survey team work out of Kakariko Village in Necluda, southeast of Lookout Landing. The ruins that fell on Kakariko Village are massive. You can see them from all the way here at Lookout Landing. The crater left by the castle's rise is still spewing gloom. It's kept us from making any progress with our investigation. We still don't know anything about where the princess and Link have gone. The upheaval occurred very soon after Princess Zelda and Link left to explore beneath Hyrule Castle. I fear the two events are related. We've started investigating the fallen ruins and the Sky Islands. Oh, I think that it's repeating itself now? Yeah. Alright. What is this? Some kind of stuffed frog? Oh. First diary. A stairway leading deep beneath the Hyrule Castle has been discovered. Even Princess Zelda didn't know about it, so it seems safe to assume it's a secret removed even from royal legend. We have confirmed that gloom emanates from that location, meaning something down there must be causing it. I appointed Princess Zelda and Link to investigate. Actually, it would be more accurate to say that Princess Zelda volunteered for the job before I had the chance. I know beyond a doubt there is no team more qualified for such a task, and yet I can't escape this feeling of dread. I've decided to store this diary in 4 volumes. That way, if some nosy someone reads it, they'll only have a quarter of it. Such ideas are the fruits of genius. As for the first one, I think I'll entrust it to who else but Impa. Speaking of Impa, she's had a cute habit of hiding important items underneath things ever since she was a child. I have a fond memory of when she forgot about a hidden steamed bun beneath a cushion and then sat on it. Squashed flat. Diaries are flat to begin with, but as they are more important than a bun, I hope she finds a better hiding spot than a cushion. Well, that was an odd thing to find. motion controls. There's a shrine over there. I don't really see much else. Hey you, don't you have any idea how worried I've been? So that's the arm, huh? I overheard Pura talking about it. I see. Yeah, it's pretty weird, alright. Nope, now's not the time for distractions. That's gotta wait until later. Anyway, I hear you've got yourself the Pura Pad now. You know that Pura Pad of yours can get a lot more powerful. I know its real potential. I've got big plans for that device, but first, I need to help Josha with her investigations into the depths. But then, oh yes, then, I will head back to the lab in Hateno Village to resume my research. So once I'm able to finish up here, you should join me there. So, those balloon things... Oh, that's the same dialogue. I assume most of it should be updated now that we did the thing they were all telling us to do. Sorry, I'm a bit busy with work right now. Link! Wow, what a relief. I was seriously worried about you. Where have you been, anyway? Sorry for the excitement. I'm just happy you're back. I've been sorting out whether or not I can build a mini-stable in Lookout Landing. Lester has come here to care for the horses, so it'd help him out a lot if he had a proper stable. The project will likely take me a while to complete, but once it's done, you'll be able to take full advantage, Link. Still going to be a while before I can complete the mini-stable. Things need to be just so for Lester, who's here to take care of the horses. So if the design isn't perfect, I'll get an earful from him. I don't think I even ever talked to this guy before. I made my own weapon. I don't believe it. The legendary Mr. Link is talking to me. You wanted a closer look at this weapon, I take it? Look at this. I made it for fighting off monsters. Pretty nifty, huh? Our iron weapon's decayed, and there's a lack of equipment around here, so I stuck a rock to the end of a long stick. Looks odd, but it'll work. Just a rock on a stick. Pretty nifty if you ask me. It's so great. It's just so great. This Hylian Armor series has caught your eye too. Alright, I think we had that dialogue before. I think you've caused quite a stir since your arrival here. People do fuss, don't they? If this is your first visit, talk to that soldier in the center of our little fort. Or were you hoping to register a horse? We're still getting things together on that front, so I'm afraid you'll have to hold your horses a while longer. I used to work at Rito Stable in Hebra. Had a good job taking care of horses. But the cold there kept getting colder and business got slower. In time, we had to close. Last I heard, the place has been bought out by the Lucky Clover Gazette. And when I was feeling adrift, Pura reached out to me about managing the horses here at Lookout Landing. And before I knew it, here I was. If you register a wild horse as your own, you can call that horse to you at a stable whenever you please. At bigger roadside stables, not only can you register horses, but you can also stay the night. We don't have room to build something that fancy here, but I did want a place I could take care of horses properly, which is why Carson from Hudson Construction is planning to build us a mini-stable. Once it's finished, you'll be able to register board and take out horses just like you would at any other stable. Be sure to bundle up if you're going to Hebra. The cold over there is intense.
Oh,
Oh, Link, pardon me. I know I shouldn't stare at the sky all day. I'm sure I saw someone fall from that huge island in the sky, pretty sure at least. The sight of that just stays with me. I should talk to the expert on Sky Islands who works with the Zonai survey team. They're studying ruins all over, though. I'll be able to leave my post here and go find that person someday, but who knows when that will be.
Ah.
How goes it, Link? I hope you take some time to see the extra facilities that are available in here. You'll find them very helpful. As for us, we'll keep watch over Lookout Landing until we have both you and the princess back safe and sound.
Oh.
This place is known as Lookout Landing. When the gloom began to seep up from under Hyrule Castle, Purah started observing it from here. But now we're all looking out for any signs of Princess Zelda. The whole effort is coordinated from this place. We'll put everything we've got into things here, Link. Anything we can do to support you and Purah in finding the princess, we'll do it. Right on. I don't know where that ladder is in relation to me. Couldn't tell which side of the... what am I doing? Couldn't tell which side of the wall that ladder was growing from. Let's see if there's anyone up here. Nope. Hey, here's somebody. Huh? Link, you're back. I thought things felt different around here. I knew you'd escape the castle. You're Princess Zelda's swordsman after all. By the way, where's the princess? Can't wait to welcome her back.
Ah.
I see, so she's still missing. If I could, I'd go and save Princess Zelda myself right now, but how can I get to Hyrule Castle? It's so high up. Alright, I think we've almost exhausted all the dialogue here. We've just got these people and the soldier in the middle. What? Is that really you? Link, you've returned. It's such a relief to see you safe. Oh, let me introduce myself. I'm Graylands, head of the monster control crew. It's our job to keep the monsters at bay as best we can throughout Hyrule. But aside from that, we've been assisting in the search for Princess Zelda, whose whereabouts are unknown. I'm glad you've returned safely, but I am gravely concerned about the princess. I'm holding out hope that the monster control crew brings back good news. They're searching the castle for her now.
Oh.
Yes, it's a group of volunteers who've joined together to defend the people from the onslaught of monsters. However, Purah has asked for our aid with a more pressing matter now. She's asked us to help in searching the castle.
Oh.
Purah has given us orders to search thoroughly around Hyrule Castle. That's where we last had contact with Princess Zelda, so it seems the best starting point in the search. Anyway, Purah enlists our monster control crew to help out. So that's where our efforts are currently focused. I was just debating whether or not to add reinforcements, but if you're joining the search link, I can keep our forces on standby. If you head to the castle, you'll run into Haas and the advance party, who will probably be just as surprised to see you. Okay, that's the same. I'm glad you returned safely, but I'm gravely concerned about the princess. I'm holding out hope. That's all the same dialogue there, I think. I shouldn't make assumptions. I think that was probably the same. He was whispering before. Alright, last guy. Sorry I didn't greet you properly when you first arrived here, Link. I was just so relieved to see you. My name is Scorpus. I've been charged with managing Lookout Landing. If you have any questions about the place, any at all, come right to me. I'll answer as best I can. Now please allow me to open up the emergency shelter.
You!
Hey, it's me. Open up.
Ah.
This underground vault used to be an emergency shelter for the royal family. Now we're making constant use of it. Feel free to make yourself at home in our vault. Use any equipment you want.
Yo.
Can I fill you in on anything here at Lookout Landing? Yeah, we gotta...
Oh.
We return Lookout Landing into the central base for coordinating efforts to find Princess Zelda. Originally, she established this fort to study the gloom that started seeping from Hyrule Castle. Only researchers and members of the Zonai survey team worked here. Once the princess went missing, everyone wanted to help, so they've been coming in ever since. We're like one big growing family. What is the latest? We here at the emergency shelter have a rule: the newest team member has to do the cooking. Our current cook has been grumbling that after coming up with a new menu every day, he's starting to run out of ideas. Reminds me of my time as a cook. After a while, I gave up and started throwing apples in the fire. Oh, sorry, I was reminiscing.
Oh.
Good night, Frownie. Good night, chat. See you tomorrow after my stream. Good night, Angelus. Thank you again for the raid. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And best of luck with your stream tomorrow. Lookout Landing was built on top of the royal family's emergency shelter. We don't have much equipment in there, but we do have essentials like beds and a cooking pot. Feel free to use those. If you need armor or cooking ingredients for your travels, you'll find all that at Mubs's shop over there. No, I didn't want to talk to him again. I was trying to climb. Oh, this is also full of people. Oh, I'm sorry we've run into so much dialogue to read. It's not my preference. You who have conquered the shrines and claimed their lights of blessing, in exchange for 4 lights of blessing, I will amplify your being. So tell me, what is it you desire? Let's go ahead with the heart container first, and then I'll probably prioritize stamina wheels for a long while. I shall grant the power you seek. Go and bring peace to the world. Groovy.
Oh.
Link, right? You really are that Link guy, aren't you? I heard folks talking about you and your face matches the one on the poster. Oh, sorry. You wanted a bed, yeah? You can go ahead and take whatever empty bed you like. Nappin's sleep talking is particularly audible here, so you probably want a bed a little farther from him. His physical condition has been deteriorating ever since he investigated one of the chasms. That's despite how long he's been back, which has been quite a while. He still hasn't made much of a recovery.
Oh.
The upheaval created massive openings across the land known as chasms. In fact, there's one nearby, just beneath Hyrule Castle, and another to the south of Lookout Landing. But if you go plumbing those depths, you'll come across plenty of gloom. If you touch that stuff, Your health will take a turn for the worse.
Ah.
Anyway, there's a young girl named Josha who's been heading up investigations into the chasms. Despite her age, she's been leading this charge. Pretty remarkable, if you ask me.
Ah. Ah.
Nope, nope, nope. Not going near chasms anymore. Nasty gloom, it's everywhere, making everyone sick, making me sick. Glad I ate that yellow plant stuff from the gloom specialist. Any more gloom and I'd be canoeing down Old Death River.
Ah.
Worked my tail off for Josha. Kid runs circles around Pura and Robbie. She loves research. Me, I'm sick to death of chasm research. At least I'm starting to feel better, but I think I'll lie low and keep lying here. That guy's name is Nappin.
Oh.
Hey, I know that face. And any face I know is the face of a friend. Please, Link, help yourself to anything in this shelter. It's all yours to use as you see fit. But don't you dare go making a mess of this place and kicking up dust. I spent so much time cleaning in here, and there's still endless amounts of dust. Where does all this dust even come from, anyway? Feels like my basement.
Ah.
So you're Link, huh? Some of the soldiers were just telling me. As a simple man from Lurelin, I'm a little starstruck. We don't see a lot of celebrities back home.
Oh.
Lurelin Village, it's a fishing town in East Necluda, far to the southeast. Used to be a popular resort, thanks to its sandy white beaches and gorgeous views of the sparkling sea.
Ah.
And we got attacked by pirates. Now no one's living there, let alone running the shops. But listen to me getting all gloomy. There's an upside. If not for the pirates, my wife and I wouldn't have come here. I should just shut my trap and enjoy the charms of Lookout Landing. I really am grateful they took us in and let us run our business here.
Oh.
Today, in the Lucky Clover Gazette, mysterious shrines appear all over the world overnight. Shrines appear everywhere due to shifts caused by the upheaval. With Pura as their leader, the Zonai survey team begins thorough investigations the world over. Huh, guess this paper is a little old. Remnants from the Zonai civilizations have started popping up all over. This calls for the Zonai survey team. Well, it should call for that, but instead they've got me hanging out here until further notice. I even spent loads of hours memorizing everything in the Zonai survey team book over there. Guess the best thing to do now is to stay on top of the news in each region, so I'm even more prepared when the call comes. Freezing temperatures bring feathery shivers to Rito. The Rito are all over the newspaper lately. They live out in the Hebra region, if I recall. It's in the snowfields of northwest Hyrule. Some surveyors grouse about going there because of how cold it is, when all they need to do is bring proper gear and supplies for cold resistance, and go to the Rito Inn to sleep on a luxurious, fluffy down bed. I know it's important to be on standby here, but I wish they'd send me out on a survey already. Oh, there's just so much to read. It's the same Hyrulean script, and yet it's so different from our modern language. I still have a lot to learn. Don't tell me. Based on your stature, physique, and distinctive right arm, you must be Link, am I right? Perez told me so much about you. I'm Wordsworth. My research specialty is Ancient Hyrulean. And by Ancient Hyrulean, I don't mean the text found in the Ring Ruins, but something different. It's what we call the language used at the time of Hyrule's founding. Our modern language is built on that foundation. These books here are written in that ancient tongue. They'd look like gibberish to your average Hyrulean. Are you curious about ancient Hyrulean? I don't have anything to show you as things stand now, but I'm sure I'll someday have results posted and ready for all to see in the lab in Kakariko Village. Our sources of ancient Hyrulean are few and far between, so I haven't made much progress in my studies. Alright, there are 3 big ideas. The mysterious ruins that appeared due to the upheaval with strange dome-like protrusions we're calling shrines. They are believed to be from the Zonai civilization, but exact details regarding these shrines are unknown. When observing shrines as well as fallen ruins, take note of their shape, the sky above, and the surrounding environment. Large holes appeared all over the world after the upheaval. They release gloom and are known as chasms. Gloom is physically harmful to people. Direct contact should be avoided. If the effects of gloom are making you feel ill, evacuate from the chasm immediately. Before entering any chasm, be sure to ask permission from Josha, the leader of the chasm surveys. We of the Zonai survey team were founded and tasked by Princess Zelda to study ruins and ancient documents. Through the lens of archaeological understanding, it is her hope that we will uncover the deep history of Hyrule. Due to the upheaval, many ruins from the Zonai civilization came crashing down from the sky. We have known very little of the Zonai, but we may now have evidence that their culture once flourished in the sky above. Our chief executive is Taro, the first individual in the world to find a clue to deciphering Zonai scripts. Our current surveys are wholly focused on learning more about the Zonai civilization. Research results are shared out to specialists at the base in Kakariko Village. Oh, goodness. That dude is really staring you down as you read. Welcome in, Itty. Pleasure to have you here. This reading is really wearing me down. Everyone knows how I love my dialogue, right?
Oh?
Hey, are you new here? You may scoff, but I know a fresh face when I see one. I can say that because I'm a newcomer too. My name's Bermano, and they put me in charge of cooking for some reason. I want to say something fancy like, for today's menu, we have a fruit and mushroom mix that'll rev you right up. Yeah, I was really looking forward to saying that, but I'm plumb out of apples. I don't have my most important ingredient. Say goodbye to rich, full flavor. My nose is detecting an aroma, a sweet, tangy, pleasant aroma. Could it be? Do you have an apple? Take this. Wow, you're really generous. I'm giving you first crack at some grub. Hold on a sec. Decided to stop playing with sticks for some story progress. Yeah. I've gotten myself into plenty of nonsense. In the meantime, though. Stubbornly refusing to do shrines in the intended way. I'm calling it Bermano's Special Fruit and Mushroom Mix. Looks tasty, doesn't it? Hey, thank you for that. I like to make a big deal out of it, but anyone can make it. All you need is an apple, a mushroom, and a pot. You should try making some. Side quest complete. Thanks for bringing me that ingredient. You really saved my bacon. Now I can give the search party plenty of energy to keep up the hunt for Princess Zelda. If you need to cook, feel free to use this here pot.
Oh.
Oh, hey, is that you, Link? I've been nose down, so I don't know what's happening around me half the time. This is pretty involved, so I'm going to keep sitting here while I wrench on this. You might have heard, but when the upheaval happened, all of the weapons decayed. I poured so much energy into trying to fix them, but it's been no use. Yeah, just before the upheaval, gloom began pouring out of the ground. It clung to the weapons, pulsing as if alive. We watched as the weapons rotted to pieces right before our eyes. It was all pretty wild. I don't understand how it happened. At a time when Hyrule Castle can float, I've given up trying to make sense of most things. Oh yeah, in case nobody has mentioned yet, you're welcome to the weapons over there. Though they probably won't be much use to you since they're, you guessed it, decayed. Traveler's Sword. An average sword used largely by travelers. The blade is decayed, but it can still serve its purpose. Cool. Free sword. So people just accept Zelda as princess again after she was gone for 100 years. It seems so. Oh, it's you, Link. Pardon me for being lost in my work here. This map tends to get all my attention. Are you interested in the different peoples of Hyrule and where they live? That's my entire field of study. When I'm out on a deployment with the monster control crew, I spend hours poring over our maps. As such, I'm the most knowledgeable in Lookout Landing about Hyrule's various peoples and their towns and villages. Aside from us Hylians, there are 4 other peoples here in Hyrule. The Rito, the Gorons, the Zora, and the Gerudo. Each live in a different area and have their own unique traits, whether it's soaring at the sky or feasting on rocks. We Hylians also live in villages that reflect our unique cultures. The Sheikah are renowned for their wisdom. In fact, our most prolific researchers are among them. The leader of Lookout Landing, Purah, is from the Sheikah tribe. Hyrule has 8 major places that its various peoples call home. Lookout Landing is located here in central Hyrule. Up northwest of here, there's Rito Village in Hebra. Then there's Gerudo Town, that's located in the southwest in the Gerudo region. You'll find Goron City to the northeast in Eldin. Travel a bit further east and you'll come across Terry Town in Akala. Not too far from there, Zora's Domain. That's within the Lanayru region. Continuing to southeast Hyrule, you'll come across a cluster of Hylian villages. These are within an area called Nikluda. Within that cluster, you'll find Kakariko Village, where the Sheikah live. I hear the village leader is quite lovely. If you're seeking a tranquil spot, Hateno Village is worth a visit. I also hear it's become Hyrule's center of fashion. Finally, there's Lurelin Village. It's a wonderful getaway destination. Many of the aforementioned towns and villages have been deeply affected by the upheaval. If removing even a fraction of the monsters helps soothe the peoples of Hyrule, then that's what we'll do. Our monster control crew is on patrol each day, gathering information from everyone, everywhere. I work with the monster control crew. We're tasked with protecting everyone from monsters. There's been an uptick in their population since the upheaval. But I'm not really the most skilled in combat, so instead I use my knowledge of the areas to help determine where we should make deployments. There's been an increase in the number of unfamiliar monsters since the upheaval as well. Be careful out there. Alright. Oh. Goodness, I think that's everyone. I think we talked to everyone. Oh, except I don't think we talked to this person. Link, welcome, welcome. Call me Monty. You will find me employed as the gatekeeper of this fine establishment. This is the emergency shelter where all are welcome. Please stay as long as you like. Indeed, this place was originally used by the royal family as a safe haven in times of need. It's quite old, so we've been fixing it up as we go, you see. At this point, we've stockpiled some supplies, and I find it to be downright cozy. I, Monty, have been tasked with the illustrious duty of watching the entrance of this renowned emergency shelter. My tasks involve taking orders from my superiors regarding when to open or shut the entryway. A noble task
Aye.
indeed. Watch your footing when using the ladder. If only one could go straight through the ceiling rather than using a tiresome ladder. Ha, but I digress. Aha, I see, I see. Did he see
Oh.
that? Nope.
Aye.
What? No! Alright. We've spoken to everyone in town. Some of them multiple times. Let's go repeat our shopping that I lost.
Ah,
Nope, I don't want to sell that.
ah. Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah. Oh. Oh.
No, I hit the wrong button.
Ah. Oh. Ah. Oh.
Alright, much less interesting look than we had before, but it should be more protective, so I'm gonna trade fashion for efficiency. Let's I think I saw a shrine before. Somewhere in the distance. Let's see if we can go to that shrine that I imagined I saw. Well, there's a shrine way in the distance over there, but that's... I thought I saw one nearby. Oh yeah, probably right there inside the castle grounds. I don't know if I can get over there safely. That seems like quite the perilous place to try and get to. There's one way over there. There's also one way over there. Well, I would like some more stamina. We did so much talking that, you know what, I'm okay with doing a little bit of walking instead. So I think we'll try to get to the shrine that I saw over this way. It's R3 every time.
When the glow of the blood-stained moon shines upon the land, the aimless spirits of slain monsters return to flesh. The world is threatened once again.
That Blood Moon cutscene, while repetitive, is actually very convenient for stopping to have a bite of my snacks. So you'll not hear me complain about it. Hello? Ack. Whoa, darn it all. President Hudson, are you okay? Oh no, what have I done? Alright, I'm sorry. President Hudson, I won't let you fall over again. That was unforgivable. It's all your fault, startling me like that. Yes, I know it's just a sign, but I have great respect for President Hudson, so I pin the blame on you. Unforgivable. You haven't heard about Mr. Hudson? He's the president of our construction company. He's the one appointed by the princess herself. She placed him in charge of putting those material caches everywhere, and now he's shouldering Hyrule's restoration. Of course, he is also the founder of Hudson Construction, and besides all that... Hey, I'm right in the middle of President Hudson's epic tale of heroism. Well, fine. What was I doing before? I don't want the others getting jealous, so I haven't spread this around, but President Hudson gave me an extra special mission. And that's to put up these signs all over the place to let everyone know that Hudson Construction is a big deal. These aren't your ordinary signs, as you can clearly see. These portray Mr. Hudson himself in detail, noble, glorious detail. It's unforgivable for even one of these to fall over, and so I've pledged to support him. Don't worry, Mr. Hudson, I'm here for you. But I can't stand here forever. I've got so many more signs to spread around. I don't know what to do. Try letting go? What, are you going to support him? Oh, alright, I'll let go. Oh, unforgivable. Oh, I see. Try letting go. How's the president standing? That was brilliant. I would have never thought of it. All right. Let's get him secured while he's still standing. Perfect. With your help, President Hudson is now standing proudly and firmly in place. It fills my heart with joy to see him doing so well on his own. Take this with my thanks. Hey, 20 bucks. Also, you must be hungry after all that hard work, right? Let me give you a little something I made myself. Hey, some food. Energizing veggie rice balls. Instantly refills one of your stamina wheels. This home-style dish of Kakariko Village is stuffed with the bounty of the mountains. But I still don't feel like I've thanked you enough. This is a little something from my premium collection, a special gift from me to you. Puff shroom, a mushroom that spreads a cloud of fine spores when stimulus is applied. The bitter powder makes them inedible. Now I can go to other places to put up more signs. And with that, I'm off. Alright, well, tracking that guy down will be a fun little set of quests, I'm sure. I see another shrine over there. Boko Shield. A bokoblin-made shield created by attaching a handhold to a flat tree bark picked up off the ground. It's pretty shoddy, so don't expect it to last very long. Hey. Even if it looks weak, a monster is still a monster. You've always got to stay on your guard. I've got to give you a little something for saving me, right? Hope this helps. Hasty simmered fruit grants a low-level movement speed boost. This sweet dish is made by heaping tasty fruits into a pan and simmering until tender. The name's Kalissa. I'm a legendary treasure hunter of the Gerudo. Nice to meet you. Have you heard about the strange phenomenon going on all over the regions of Hyrule? Islands floating in the sky and caves opening up everywhere? It's a dream come true for a treasure hunter. Lately, I've been really interested in the rubble and stones falling from the sky. I've even been dreaming about them. My latest dream? This big stone came tumbling out of the sky and hit the ground and then suddenly started to float back upward. I grabbed onto it, and before I knew it, I'd arrived at an island in the sky full of treasure. Can you imagine? Anyway, that was basically the whole dream. Too good to be true, of course. Why would I dream about a falling stone floating back up into the sky? Dreams are so strange. I'd better get going, but I hope we meet again. Subork? Oops. combat training. Throwing again. Alright, my friends. I'm suddenly finding myself to be quite a bit tired, so I think maybe stepping into this shrine and saving and calling it a night for tonight might be a good idea. You know, we're almost at the 8-hour mark. It's been a really good time, and I'm hesitant. On the one hand, I am a little bit hesitant to quit because I don't plan to pick this up again until Tuesday night. It's not fun to go like 40 hours without playing this one, but there is wisdom in pacing oneself as well, right? But thank you for being here with me, my friends. As always, very much appreciate having your company. I hope that you've had an excellent time, and I hope that I will get to enjoy having you here with us again in the very near future. But we're going to head off for tonight. I'll see if anyone is around for us to raid. Alright, I think I know where we might go. I'm going to send us in the direction of Grumpy Henna. I haven't seen Henna for quite a while. She's got a pretty laid-back stream. There is adult language on her stream a bit, so heads up about that. Not necessarily strictly family-friendly like us. But still generally a laid-back and comfy time. Also, sometimes a bit louder. She's got alerts on her stream that can be a bit surprising compared to the low volume time we have over here. So a slight heads up about that as well. She's playing Ace Attorney and Pokemon tonight, it looks like. Is what she's got going on. So if you would come along and give her stream a look-see, I'm sure you'll have a good time, my friends. One last time, thank you for being here with me tonight. You're very compassionate. Appreciate that, Frownie. Thank you, fresh and gluten-free. Thank you for that. Oh, I got 10 seconds left. Thank you for being here, everybody. We're all out of stream. I hope I get to see you again, but we've got to head out. It's time to go on an adventure.